You can see those cops over there waiting for somebody to speed through this highway. They're just waiting, and they're right behind that Yukon or whatever that GMC truck is. So you have no idea that they're there, and they're just waiting. It's like that's part of this de Blasio 25 mile per hour nonsense. And you would have no idea, but as soon as you fly through that space, as soon as you try to make this light, you accelerate to about 70 or 80 miles per hour, they got you. You know? No country right here for SRT products. This is the current inventory at Westbury. So as you can see, Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio, white Hellcat, black Trackhawk, some Corvette nobody cares about. Don't know about that. Got the racing stripes on there. Basically, at this point, I think everybody pretty much knows Trackhawks, Hellcats, they're basically giving the Hellcats away. It's the Trackhawk that everybody would prefer to have because of the all-wheel drive system. And there's that wide body. With the wide body kit, they have silver Brimbos on this one. They have one downstairs that has orange Brimbos. That's an extra $8,000, bringing your grand total about $79,000. The lease on these is still about $899 a month. And you got black, darker Brimbos right here on the 392. Red Brimbos on the white one, red interior. The market has kind of cooled for these cars. This is a demon right here, as you can see from the hood. I really am getting angry. You know, that's part of the reason why I made the 7 Rules of Hellcat video. I'm getting angry with all of these people who keep on racing demons against cars that they absolutely were not designed to go up against. And then, just to add insult to injury, they put these fucking cars on regular streets, but the demon still got drag tires on it, and it can't race on a regular fucking dirt road. And meanwhile, they're racing it up against a McLaren, or they're racing it up against a fucking Tesla P100 Ludicrous, and then the shit doesn't even have the proper tires on it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys are horrible. And we know that this thing is a drag car that does 9 seconds. Problem is, they keep on purposefully fucking up the races. But the reality of the situation is, you really can't race that demon off that drag strip. That drag strip is the demon's, that's its natural habitat. That's where it has to be. You can't just do that. And the thing about it is, you got these losers with these freaking YouTube channels, and they keep on, oh yeah, I just embarrassed the demon. Problem is, you did it under circumstances where that car had no chance whatsoever. It's pathetic. But I guess the reason why I kind of wanted to make this video, they had 2 silver Trackhawks. One of them has the signature interior leather, and then the other one has the black leather. So there's one that's they're selling for about $93, I think, and then the other one they're selling for, I don't know if this one has the TVs. They're selling one for $93, but they're selling the other one for about $96 or something like that. But my issue with this car, and a lot of people keep asking me, oh yeah, when are you going to get your Trackhawk or whatever? First of all, my problem with this car, as I pointed out in the videos that I made of this car when it first came out, my problem was, number one, it's the exact same physical Jeep that I have. They didn't really do anything with it. They didn't change enough with it. They didn't give it the Hellcat hood, which I keep on complaining about, and I won't stop complaining about. It's basically the same shit that I already got. Physically, the only difference is the powertrain and the engine supercharger, but that's it. And the thing about it is, give these cars till the end of the summer, and these things are going to drop in price about $10,000, I guarantee you, because pretty much that's what happens with all the Jeep SRT products. They drop in price about $10,000. But other than that, this is exactly what the fuck I already got. But it's not exactly what I got because, yeah, it's more powerful. But the other thing that bothers me is it looks just like every single other car. And I don't like the fact that it looks just like everything else. You know? If you look around the materials in here, yeah, the Trackhawk here is not stitched. Somebody sent me a picture to show me that they had a Trackhawk where it actually had stitching. Now, the one reason why you want this car is because it's all-wheel drive and it has the Hellcat engine, which means that you're using it all year round regularly. When you have this, you don't need two cars. And I think that's a really good thing, because the Hellcat is a car, especially here in New York and when you live in the upper Northeast, it's like when you want that kind of power, you really got to have all-wheel drive. And I've already outlined that numerous times in videos that I've done. However, the real problem with this car is that you're paying $2,000 a month, literally $2,000 a month, for what you could have just gotten a Jeep SRT, and you'd be only paying $1,000 a month like I am now. But what bothers me is that this thing looks like less than the Jeep SRT that I have, you know, and that really bothers me. And the thing about it is, some people, you know, I've noticed the negative comments that people troll with. You can't afford it. Believe me, I absolutely can afford it. First of all, at $2,000 a month, this is really, well, and when I say $2,000 a month, what I'm saying is, first of all, I would lease it. I wouldn't finance this thing. Number one reason is because in about 2 years, they're going to have brand new products coming. And I wouldn't want to get stuck with the old product. That's number one. When they change the face on this thing, when they change the back, when they change this interior up, because this interior has been on the market now for a long time, I wouldn't want to get stuck in the old equipment. Because if you remember, in 2012, 2013, they made a Jeep SRT with the 392 engine, and you didn't get the U-Connect, and you also didn't get the polystable shifter because you didn't get an 8-speed. Back then, you got the 5-speed, and you got what was called My Gig. Now, anybody who bought a 2012, 2013, God forbid they paid full price for it, and God forbid they financed it, because they literally got stuck with that thing for 8 years. Meanwhile, people like me went out and got either a 14, a 15, or a 16, and we had the new design, the new look, the 8-speed, and the U-Connect. So my issue is, it's like, I want them to hurry up and redesign these things, and obviously, this thing should have the Hellcat hood. And I'll say another thing, because, you know, I like giving the criticism where it's due. When they really fucked up is by trying to change the name of this product. You basically, FCA tried to soft sell me. You knew goddamn well that I was expecting this thing to be called the Jeep Hellcat. You knew it. For you to change the name and shit, that was just stupid. I didn't want no damn Trackhawk. I came for the Jeep Hellcat. You see that over there? That's a Hellcat. You see that thing right over there? You see that? I came looking for one of those with all-wheel drive. That's what I came looking for. Now, for you guys to try to soft sell people, I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. You're not supposed to try to soft sell me into some other new brand name just because you feel like making a new brand name. That's not what I came here for. What I came here for was a Hellcat hood. Right here, I came for a Hellcat hood, and I came for a Hellcat engine. That's what I came here for. I did not come for some shit to say Trackhawk or to say Supercharge. I didn't come here for it to say Supercharge on the side. I wanted it to say Jeep Hellcat. You see that picture right there? What's that? That doesn't look like a bird. That doesn't look like a fucking hawk. That looks like a cat, doesn't it? You know why it looks like a cat? Because it looks like a cat. So why doesn't this shit say Hellcat on it? So you tried to soft sell us, and now you're going to sit back and you're going to watch as these things sit on the lots. Because most people realize that at this point, the hype has died down, and nobody's rushing to pay you $2,000 a month for a Jeep that looks just like this one. They all look alike. Nobody's going to rush to pay you that kind of money when that Jeep looks just like, and this is a Jeep SRT right here. And that has the red calipers, which even if you wanted to say, okay, well, I'll get past the red, I'll go to yellow. Thing about it is, where's the fucking Hellcat hood? You see this? See that, Durango? That's a Hellcat hood. That's the fuck I expected. Why didn't I get that? Why did you try to soft sell me? Don't soft sell me. I don't like my products being switched on me. I've bought 7 of these fucking cars, and each time I came and I got exactly what I expected to get. I don't like being soft sold. I don't like people trying to sell me something that I don't want. That's not what I came here for. But this wide body, damn, this is a nice car. I like this shit. I like this wide body. That's the wide booty right there. That thing looks bad ass. Why? Because it's got that big fucking cat on the side. So when you pull up to those Nissan Altimas and those ugly ass Toyota Camrys and those ugly ass Honda Accords, when you pull up on them and they see that cat, all of a sudden they slam on their brakes because they know you can't pass this fucking thing. This thing does nothing but pass people, and they know it. That's what I'm talking about right there. So even though it says $79,000, you could lease this thing for about $1,000 a month at most with your insurance. But that's what I'm talking about right there. I demand that shit look different. Look at how different that looks than the regular one. That's the regular one. You see that? When you don't have that wide booty, it just ain't the same. I demand shit look different. If I'm going to pay that kind of money for something, I want it to look different. I want you to know in traffic, I can't fucking race this guy. So that demon, they got to cover that demon up because that demon's terrifying over there. That shit be scaring the hell out of people, taking people's souls right to FCA. That's what you're supposed to sell me. You're not supposed to fucking soft sell me. So FCA, hopefully you're just doing a 2012, 2013. Hopefully what you're doing is you're going to upgrade that fucking hood and make the front of that thing look distinctive, because up until you do, there's no fucking way I'm handing you a check for that thing. It's just not going to happen. $2,000 a month, I can buy a Mercedes S-Class. I can get an S450. I can get an S550 from the last model here. There's no way in hell I would pay $2,000 a month when I basically have a Jeep that actually looks more distinctive than that one when viewed from the front. No way. You have a regular Hellcat Challenger, but this one has the orange brake calipers. Now, I really think that orange helps contrast the color, but my problem is this is the standard body. If I was gonna get this Challenger, I would get it with the wide booty. Still looks good though. But you see that? That right there is what I'm talking about. Why didn't the Jeep Trackhawk have that hood? There was no reason for it not to have that hood. You know, so hey FCA, you know exactly what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. One of my friends is actually thinking about getting a Durango SRT. They say it has more seating space than the Jeep SRT does, which I kind of find odd, but I guess it's probably in how the chairs are positioned. This one, the battery's dead, so you can't really reposition it. You know, me personally, I don't need 3 rows. And look at this, you get the nice SRT stitching that stands out. So how you're gonna pay $100,000 for a Trackhawk? You can't even see the fact that it actually says Trackhawk on it. I don't know who rushed that car the way they rushed it, but if it was up to me, somebody would be staying home a couple of days without pay, because somebody rushed that development. And it might have been just, a couple of people, but somebody would be losing some paychecks behind that shit, When you see this thing from the side, you know this thing's special. Unlike that Trackhawk. When you see the Trackhawk, you can't tell if it's a limited or not. I can't understand how they allowed that to happen. But that's just what happened. So now, they're gonna watch as some of them sit on the lot. Because this white one and that silver one that I just showed you, those have been sitting on the lot for a couple of months at this point. And they're gonna keep sitting because the hype is dead, They gave a couple of automobile reviewers these things to drive around so that they could review. And those people had no intention of buying one of these things. Most of these people, they wait until the stuff gets used and they depreciate it. But I buy my cars new. And believe me, if I really wanted this thing, I could trade my Jeep and I could take a Trackhawk, but there's no way. What I would do, especially if you're a person who wants to buy one of these things, what I would do is I'd wait till the end of the summer, and I guarantee you, you're gonna see between $8,000 and $10,000 knocked right off the sticker because of the one model year behind. Now, they're still gonna try to get you to buy the Mopar warranty for 8 years. Thing about it is, if I were you, I would lease it. And if you lease it, the lease deal is about $1,400 a month for 36 months. If you lease it, you'll get the thing, and then you won't get stuck when they make a brand new model. But that's only if you're interested in a Trackhawk, because to tell you the truth, if you really want some power and you want all-wheel drive, getting the regular Jeep SRT will serve you just as well. I kind of regret the fact that I haven't been able to do a video review of it yet, but I'll try to get one eventually. It's like I've fallen behind on some of the cars that I wanted to review and everything, but I will get one and I'll just drive it around. But for the most part, it's the same as my Jeep SRT. It's just that it's got 3 rows. I mean, you know, the reviewers tried to talk the things up instead of just being honest about it. But basically, it's a Jeep SRT with 3 rows. Now, if you are going for maximum cargo space, getting the Durango is cool, but you're most likely going to want to fold down that last seat, and then you'll get pretty much a little bit more cargo space than I have in my Jeep SRT, because the rear of this thing is a little bit more vertical. Still a good car, though. You know? And that's the Jeep SRT. And I have to say, at 25,000 miles, some people have been asking me how am I liking the long-term reliability. I was just answering an email from somebody, and I have to say again, I keep saying it, the Jeep SRT is easily the best product right now that FCA makes, and I'm including the Quadrifoglio to that, because mostly Fiat, they haven't really built up a good long-term reliability profile yet. So right now it's all about initial reliability. But I'll tell you, listen, if they make the changes that I want them to make with that Trackhawk, I'll definitely trade this for a Trackhawk. But the problem is, I cannot justify to myself trying to pay them $2,000 a month for a Jeep that looks exactly like what I already got. I can't justify it. It doesn't make sense. You know, and that's just that. Like, and the sad thing is, I have the money saved up. But when they're talking about like $1,400 for a lease, now I know the finance is actually a little bit cheaper, and the reason why is because what they do is they try to stretch the finance out to like as much as they can. They try to stretch the finance out to like 74 months, or they'll go even further. Bethpage Federal Credit Union will give you a freaking 96 months, and there are some credit unions and there are some subprime banks that will actually give you 144-month financing. And when I say 144 months, I basically mean 12 years a slave. So I mean 12 years of fucking financing. Now, for some people, that might actually work. It's just that by the end, you're gonna end up spending a whole hell of a lot more money than you expected to spend. Uh-oh, somebody just ran that light. You saw that white flash? Somebody just ran that light and they got their ass a ticket coming in the mail. Yep, got their ass a ticket coming in the mail, you know? But I have to say, I'm very, very satisfied. This car has 25,431 miles. I've put every single one of those miles on this car. As long as you get your oil changes regularly, I think it's like 50 or 60,000 miles. You have to do the transfer fluid in the case. And as long as you do your oil changes regularly, and as long as you do your brakes and everything, you see, there's another one. Looks just like what I'm driving, except mine's got red brakes and shit. So anyway, as long as you do your maintenance regularly, it'll keep you very, very happy. You know, it'll keep you very, very, very happy, but you just got to take care of it. And I take care of my cars. You know, but I'm so disappointed that I can't understand how they could let us down that much. I mean, everything that we expected, they just totally fucked it all up. I just don't get that. Somebody should be fired.